do it now so I can repeat everything I said that nobody heard.
I know. Probably from when
Yeah.
it said that the mic was on.
Yeah, probably.
But we're here.
Yep.
We're back.
So, again, we are live on location at Russell Medical Center. We are so glad to be here and so glad to partner with them. And we got about 30 seconds. So we'll be live for TV. But Mabry and Morgan and the whole staff here at Russell Medical Center, we're so appreciative of their hospitality and be talking a lot about Russell Med throughout this show. Unfortunately, we'll be kind of recapping last night's game and a lot of other things. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz here at noon. We are so glad that you have joined us. Our program brought to you by J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation and
Cincy Green, for air that is cool and clean. Call on Cincy Green.
And Glenda Mitchell Law Firm is our presenting sponsor for all things Auburn Blitz. Now, every program, we couldn't do it without Glenda Mitchell and her staff and everybody that's part of that law firm. We'll talk about them a little bit later on as well, but we're glad to be on location at Russell Medical Center here in Alexander City. As you can see, the front of the hospital right behind us. They've got us up here in one of the nice boardrooms and just a really, really beautiful facility. One of the top 3 hospitals in the state of Alabama, Faith. And again, when you talk about, a packed parking lot in every direction, and whether it's a doctor you're looking for or tests that need to be run. You went through the heart test this morning. I did not, and I'll tell everybody why in a minute. But all of the things that they can do for you here. It's a small, a smaller hospital that has all the services, and they're partnered with UAB Health, which is the best in the world.
Right. And so, yeah, I had a really good experience when I came here this morning to do the heart screening. I did all 3 because February is Heart Health Month, and it's so important because your heart is the thing that runs your body. And
yes,
so
it's the motor.
Yeah, so you've got to make sure that you've got your heart health in place so that the rest of your body can actually function. And I had such a great experience. All the staff workers were so nice. Everything was very efficient, quick. I was done with all 3 of mine in less than an hour, and that's crazy.
Yes, that's in and out quick.
Very efficient and very, they appreciate they provide the privacy when it comes to everything that has to do with you and what you're in there for. And so obviously privacy when it comes to health and hospitals is super, super important to Russell Medical.
No doubt. Obviously this hospital's close to me because I was born here. I was born at Russell Medical Center. I know it's been a while, so that wasn't yesterday. But yeah, again, so many great things have been here from Russell Medical Center for our family, and so again, you need to check it out in Alexander City. Justin jumping in already. He said, "I still think it's too early to make a determination about what Stephen will or won't do or be as a coach. Auburn was patient with Bruce." Paid off tenfold. I agree, Justin. We talked about it on the podcast this morning. Got some things I want to add to that, and kind of go with. He has a big all season. You and I have talked about that. Really, to me, the telltale is going to be who he's able to bring in this recruiting class. Caleb Williams was there last night as the guest letter. Guy's the only signee in this class coming in. So obviously, depending on how many guys leave in the all season, going to be another big portal haul. And how much money is Auburn going to devote to this program? And it's not just about money. You can have a lot of money. There's a lot of programs, a lot of money. The top players that you're looking for out of the portal, you got to convince them that they can come here and compete for championships. So that's the challenge ahead. Now, there's a lot of basketball left in this season.
Right.
But we are past the halfway point now in the SEC schedule, and it's not going to get any easier for Auburn.
No, it's not. We've gone through the schedule. We've broken down how important, even last night, trying to get a win would be. And, Brett, when we're talking about what the off season looks like recruiting wise and in the transfer portal for basketball, you look at the roster, there are a lot of younger guys, obviously some that aren't seeing any play time right now. But I mean, there are some younger guys that do they stay? Because now you can't just anticipate that because someone's a freshman and they're at Auburn that they're going to stay. I mean, that's just the way things go now, is that you go one place for 1 year and then you go and transfer and go somewhere else for another year. And, you know, there's a few seniors, but still, I mean, it's a pretty young team that you could bring back a few of the guys.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And how much contribution are you getting from those guys too right now? And you're really relying on 6, maybe 7 if you want to stretch it, to give you any kind of decent minutes from a bench. It's a very, very small bench now that Stephen Pearl has. You know, I flash back, and I know we talk about this frequently, but I go back to when we were in Birmingham at Media Days just not too long ago, and the emphasis that Stephen Pearl put on how much, you know, this bench was going to have to be relied on for them to have the kind of year that they want and to be able to really count on maybe 10, 11 guys. I ain't getting close to that. We've got 5 with, I would say, Jovic being the 6th man and then maybe Elijah Freeman being the 7th. But the combination of them here just over the last couple of weeks haven't provided you with much production. Jovic had that game against South Carolina, but outside of that, his minutes have dwindled. And you would think, why are his minutes dwindling when you've got such a short bench now? And then the Caden Magwood situation, you saw a little bit of an opportunity maybe that could have provided itself with 4 guys having 3 fouls early in the second half, but never went to him. So I just don't think he's an option at all.
I don't really know what the answer to that kind of question is.
I don't either. Got to get to 17 wins, 18 to feel comfortable. I don't know that I don't know that 18 wins gets you there, Justin. I'll be honest with you. I mean, now with how many teams in this conference, I mean, you're not going to get 14 teams in this year like the SEC did last year. That's not going to happen. So what does it look like? Auburn's 14-10 right now, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you got to get up there with the SEC tournament. I think you got to get up there close to 20 wins. That's just my opinion.
Can Auburn do that in the remainder of the schedule that they have?
Yep. In the last 10 years in the SEC, there's only been one team with a 7-man rotation that had a winning SEC season record, and it was Kentucky in 21-22. I mean, you're asking the impossible. Like, literally, and again, I don't know who to blame, who to point a finger at, whatever, but the coaches obviously are going to play the guys they feel like give them the best chance to be successful.
Right.
And if they're only being able to go 6, 7 deep, I don't know what the rest of that bench is doing. I don't know if it's they're just not ready in some phases, if they missed on some of those guys, whatever the combination. We know there's some discipline stuff going on. You got Emeka Oporum, who is really – this hurt Auburn because of his medical situation, not being able to play. I thought he was starting to get more – he was starting to get more and more minutes. He was a big guy that's not real bulky, but tall, could have been a rim protector. You lose him, and now you're really just looking down the bench. You got nobody, and the 5 and 6 that are on the floor having to go 34, 35, 36 minutes.
My question is once you hit minute 24 through 28, your energy drops significantly. There's no question about that. And if they are still the only option once the energy levels get to, 60%, and they're still the better option over a fully, relaxed, basically, person on the bench. That's where it's what happened. Why aren't the guys on the bench ready? Where's the answer there?
Just really thought that you were going to be able to get some quality minutes out of several of these guys that we've been talking about, and just not there right now. So again, we going to go through and talk about parts of this game that went on last night, and come on in. So we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But we got a really special guest coming up here in just a few minutes when we go to break that we will tell you about here shortly, and we're excited to have her with us here at Russell Medical Center. And we'll talk a little bit about the baseball team. They start Friday as well. I know Coach Thompson is very excited about this team. The fans are excited about it. Preseason ranked number 5 in Baseball America. That's the highest rank baseball preseason for Auburn baseball since 2005. So it's been a minute since you've had a team. Now, Auburn's had some really good baseball teams since then, but from a preseason ranking standpoint, we haven't had one that high since 2005. Also, some football notes as we get ready for spring football practice. Obviously, we'll talk the offensive and the defensive assistant coaches, not the coordinators. Assistant coaches met with the media this week, so we'll try to give some insight into some of the things that they said as well. But again, from a standpoint of where we are today, as you can see behind us, we're at Russell Medical Center, and we're so glad to be partnered with them here on the Auburn Blitz. And they're voted one of the top 3 hospitals in the state of Alabama. They're partnered with UAB Health. Faith went through the heart screening this morning. I was off in another direction doing something, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But anyway, it's great to be here at Russell Medical, and we can't thank Morgan and Mabry and everybody here enough for the hospitality. And so if you're looking for a great medical facility for your health care, right here in Alexander City is the place to be. You need to come by, check them out. Great doctors, great facilities, everything that you're looking for you and your family, because without good health, none of this other stuff matters.
That's exactly right.
So glad to be partnered with them. All right, we're up against our first break here on the show. Make sure you stay right there. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this. Hello, how are you?
Oh, we're seeing a lot of each other.
All right, for everyone that's on right now while we're on a break for TV, we've got Jackie Pearl here. She is our guest speaker today. Okay, kind of explain your role to them on the Russell Med staff.
Yeah, so when I moved here to Auburn, we're not in Auburn, obviously, but when I moved to Auburn, my initial plan was to work for the Family Foundation and run Outlive and all the things. And then I was approached by Tammy here at Russell Medical Center that they were looking to expand their team and the foundation. And I have a 10-year plus history of nonprofit work going back to Tennessee, and had the opportunity to start working with the Russell Medical Foundation. Alex City is the first place where we've ever had a permanent family home at the lake. And so supporting this community and making it a healthier place and have a healthier future for myself, my kids, grandkids someday. It was just a no-brainer, and I've loved every minute of working here.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this place is beautiful, obviously. I got to go through the heart screenings this morning. I've talked about that a little bit, but just how important is it for people to, especially, I mean, even my age, but go and get these tests done so that you can be ahead of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, like, when I had a child, I want you to scan them from head to toe from birth and do it every year until the rest of their lives, because I want to know something ahead of time and hit it off at the pass before before it gets bad. And heart health is so important to every avenue of your body. But it's one of the leading causes of death amongst all Americans. And so Heart Health Month is about awareness. It's about knowing there's a problem before there is one and staying on top of it. And the screenings that we do here, we hope are just a touch point for you to keep track and to be knowledgeable about what's going on inside your body, but also to be hopefully an early detection of a potential problem. We don't want that, but it is a good indicator of potential issues. And then you can make modifications to your lifestyle, to your diet, to your exercise, or anything that promotes good heart health. And so, we've done these screenings for years. You went through it. It's a fairly easy process, non-invasive, right? So you're in and out 30, 45 minutes. And the staff here is so fantastic.
Awesome.
To walk you through the process. And it's just good knowledge to have. It's, people step on the scale every day to see, am I up or down, or do I need to make adjustments? And we treat this as one of those things that you do every year, just to keep a good check on your health.
Just a sense of mind. I feel once I get the results back, I'll have a peace of mind.
For sure.
I feel I'm still young enough to change some habits that maybe I could stop.
Right. And I think
healthier,
it's
probably.
I always do better with more knowledge, right? Like the more I know, the more I feel. I'm a control freak, if you can even imagine that being a part of my family trait. But if I know it, then I can fix it. And if I know what it's supposed to be, then you've got a benchmark.
All right, guys, so welcome back to Auburn Blitz at Lunch. Today, I am joined by Jackie Pearl. She's on the staff here at Russell Medical Center. And kind of explain everybody your role, what part you play here.
Yeah, so I moved to Auburn about 2 years ago, actually almost to the day 2 years ago. Happy anniversary for everybody. No, but when I moved here, my intent was to help with our family foundation, take over Outlive, lend some support there. And an opportunity came in Alexander City at Russell Medical. Alex City and the Lake Martin community, it's the first family home that we've ever had. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm 40 years old. There's not a place that still exists that my family is a part of. That's our home. And this is the first place where we've been able to have that. And so being able to work here to contribute to the wellness and health of this community and its future, in a place where my kids will come and my nieces and nephews and grandkids and other family members come, knowing that Russell Medical is here, that has a fantastic healthcare facility, is just really important to me and our family to give back to the communities that you live in. And so when I got the opportunity to work for the foundation here at Russell Medical, it just made sense.
Talk about the foundation and, obviously Outlive with Auburn and everything. The game is next Saturday. So not this upcoming Saturday, but the following at home against Kentucky.
Yep.
Just talk about that and how it's grown.
Absolutely. Well, Russell Medical was one of the first organizations that we ever donated to 10, 12 years ago through Outlive. Because there is a cancer facility here that's a collaborative partnership between Russell Medical and UAB up in Birmingham, and fantastic physicians here. And I don't know that people really understand how rare it is for what most would consider a rural health hospital to have their own cancer center and cancer facility with top-notch physicians and equipment and treatments. And so when we're looking for cancer organizations around the state to support, Russell Medical was one of the first ones that we came to. And it started out as a very small donation because it was brand new at Auburn. And over the years, the support for Outlive has grown, and therefore the amount we've been able to contribute to facilities like the Russell Medical Cancer Center, like EAMC, like any of the others across the state, Children's of Alabama, in Birmingham, it's only grown as the Auburn Family Support has grown. And so, I say it all the time, we can't do the great stuff that we do with this money without all of the people who contribute, buy a t-shirt, make a donation. And so, getting to work in a hospital where I actually get to see the use of those funds firsthand is a pretty cool experience.
And this is Heart Health Awareness Month at Russell Medical Center. And talk about how affordable, how convenient it is that Russell Medical is providing people with heart screenings at a very low rate where you don't even have to go through insurance. You don't have to get any of that involved.
Yeah.
And how it's able to make an impact into some people's lives.
Sure. Well, first things first, you can't put a price on your own health, right? Like your health is paramount to anything that you do throughout the course of your life. And so anything that we can do to promote being healthier and having all of the knowledge and the tools at your hands in order to take control of that, we want to do. But there are often times with insurance and things like that, there are hurdles to getting to a specialist physician like a cardiologist to review heart health, even if there's a family history or not. And so one of the things that we do is for a very low rate, like you said, I think it's $250 for every single test, although you may not need every single test. For $250, you can get a complete 360 view of what's going on inside your body and how it could potentially affect your health right now or down the line. And I think not having to jump through the insurance hoops to see a doctor to get to another doctor. You can call us directly throughout the month of February, schedule your heart health appointment, come in 30, 45 minutes. You did it this morning. Yep. So super easy process, and really get a complete picture of your heart health.
And it's super close to Auburn, where it took me no time to get up here. And so even if you're not in Alexander City, you can still come from anywhere. And we always talk about how accessible Russell Med is, instead of having to drive all the way up to Birmingham or all the way to Atlanta, because that's just
that's not happening.
No,
that's not happening. No.
But okay, I guess we might as well talk about it because you have just grown up in the basketball world.
Yes.
You're kind of related to the game,
sort of,
a little bit.
Yeah.
And so why don't you just talk about, kind of your experience of, your father, your brother, everything, and how this has made you.
Yeah, I mean, being a coach's kid is a really unique experience that not many go through or get to experience. And now being the sister of a coach is its own unique experience. I don't know. When people ask me about it, I don't know any different.
Right. It's
like, what does your dad do for work? Well, he's in construction. Okay, he's always been in construction. That's just what my dad does. And I grew up in a gym. I grew up on buses going to and from away games. I grew up, instead of awards banquets, we're going to tournament games, and
right.
You take it for granted a little bit, the experience. And I think especially at Auburn, where the fan base is so massive and there's always difficulty getting tickets to home games, you just kind of take for granted the fact that you've always gotten to be there.
Right.
And so I'm thankful that family line has sort of continued. The stress is 10 times higher than it ever was with my dad.
Right.
Anybody who has seen me on a sideline knows I go hard no matter what. And I go harder for Steven. My superstitions are worse. It is a real problem sometimes. And if you don't see me in the arena, it's because I walked out. We went on a little run. We're scoring points now. And so I now have to stay
you can't come
where
back
I
in.
am.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I had this thought last night that I was like, we're playing better when I'm not sitting in my seat. So I'm not going to sit in my seat. And I'm like, but if Steven turns around and sees the seats he gave me empty, he's going to think that I didn't use the ticket.
Oh my gosh. And then it's a whole big
And
disaster.
then it's a whole family issue.
Oh gosh, the family group chat after.
The family group chat. It's not a good place to be sometimes. So But I'm like, just so you know, I'm here. I'm screaming in the back, but I can't be out there because you cut it to 4 and I can't be in the
And
building.
now I can't come back.
Now I can't come back.
So thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, this has just been overall a crazy season, and just crazy that the way college athletics have totally changed with the transfer portal and NIL and everything like that. And so, you know, like you said, it's different with it not being your dad.
Yeah.
That is how you grew up.
Right.
But now you get to watch him go and do something else, and
For sure.
watch your brother thrive where he does.
Absolutely. Well, in a way, I think, and you're seeing this a lot. Some of the older school coaches, like Dad, like the Virginia coach who left, like Jay Wright, who got out at Villanova before this NIL stuff got crazy. You know, they're used to the old way where loyalty is everything, and relationships are everything, and you're recruiting kids to be a surrogate parent for a couple of years while they're away from their family, and not only to teach them basketball, but it was a whole bigger picture. Now it's not like that anymore. NIL is what it is. I think it was necessary. I think those kids deserve to get paid for the work that they put in, no question. But in a way, I think eventually we are going to benefit from having a head coach who has grown into what NIL is and is now leading a team with NIL being really at the forefront of it all.
Right.
And so some of these assistant coaches that have been sort of doing the grind work are now coming up into those head positions because you need someone who understands what the game is now.
Right.
And you know, I'm proud of him. A completely new team, guys playing completely different roles. Still trying to find that gel night after night. But I think he said it in his post-game presser last night, like regardless of what the score says, this team has gotten better since the beginning of the season. And that's really all you can ask for is constant growth, constant recognition of what you need to do better. And every game plan is going to be different. So, you know, we'll see what we bring against Arkansas on Saturday.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank
we appreciate it
you.
so much. And again, Russell Medical Center, and how great it is to be here and the great experience that we've had. So we'll be back right after this break. Perfect.
10 seconds right here. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Halfway through our program, we're live on location at Russell Medical Center, but halfway through, we know what time that is.
It's Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine time. My favorite part of most shows, I have to say.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, almost every show.
Yeah,
because
so-
the food, we just envision what the food is.
Well, I was looking at the Valentine's Day deals that they have, and $105, you can get 2 bacon wrap fillets, 8 ounces, or 2 12-ounce ribeyes. Oh my gosh, with baked potato, with I think 2 twice baked potatoes, rolls, 10 shrimp.
I mean, just a whole
And
load of
for
stuff.
$105, are you kidding me? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know where you're going to find that. Definitely not out to eat. You cannot
Right.
get dinner for 2 for $105
No.
on like
No,
a nice date night
No.
restaurant. Come on. And then
Yeah.
they've got the wine there too already.
You just got
So
everything
come on,
at your
just stop at Pepper Tree for
Absolutely.
Valentine's.
Yeah. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Can't thank them enough. Can't thank Russell Medical Center enough. Can't thank Linda Mitchell Law Firm enough for everything that they do. Just so many great partners here we have on the program. Really enjoyed listening to you and Jackie Pearl just then. And one thing stood out to me, that whole interview, and there were so many good things that y'all talked about. But one thing is talking about all the coaches that got out right before this NIL thing took off. And that's really, with some of those coaches leaving and with them exiting stage left, really college athletics as we knew it exited with them. One of the main reasons they all got out, the Nick Sabans of the world, the Bruce Pearls of the world, all of them got out because, and I know nefarious things went on under the table. I know everything wasn't perfect. I know people got paid, but not to this level, and not like everybody wanted this. Hey, let's just pay everybody up in the wide open. And so now you got it. Now everybody hates it. And you almost go back to, hey, let's see if we can sneak around and pass a bag and see what we can get away with. And if we do get caught, then we'll just have to deal with the consequences. But for the most part, it wasn't about coming there for just the money. It was going to play at that school because you wanted to go to that school or you had a relationship with those coaches. It is strictly transactional now. And I don't really want to spend the rest of the show talking about that, but it really kind of sunk in with me listening to y'all talk about that the college athletics that we loved, and I say loved in the past, they're gone now.
Yeah, it's not the same by any means. And when you do go and look at the coaches that decided to get out of it because they couldn't adapt to it, is you see a lot of those legendary coaches. You know what I mean? Like you just said, the Nick Sabans, Bruce Pearl, because it isn't about, for them, the money. It's about the loyalty. It's about the
Helping them
name.
get better.
Yeah, it's about the name on their backs and the name that they are representing
Right.
versus now it's, about the money, which stinks. And so, yeah, it's all semi-pro athletics because, an amateur is not supposed to get paid. That's
Right.
just how the definition of amateur works. And, it is interesting just to see how coaches are adapting, but also learning to adapt at this time when there isn't really a clear definition on what is allowed and what
Right.
isn't allowed, and what happens when you are late to the game and all those things. I mean, we've talked about it for the last year now.
I'm just going to say this, and I think this is where it's going to end up, and it needs to get there sooner than later. It's going to be a Supreme Court ruling to give the NCAA the power they need to govern college athletics the way. And at that point in time, the NCAA needs to set ground rules and regulations, and the court system, being wherever the Supreme Court decides, has to back them and give them the power to make those rules and regulations. And if you don't like it, get out. Go
Yeah.
find something else to do. You don't have to play college athletics, but just going forward, ignoring or not knowing who's in charge or not knowing what to do, or let's go try to make a ruling and then go get sued in the courts, it isn't working. It's
Yeah.
not fixing the problem.
Yeah, that's kind of, again, where just a lot of this lies is who's in charge,
That's
what are the rules? And I feel like those are two things that should be established first when you are creating something.
none of us like the NCAA. They've done a lot of dumb things over the history of their time, but they are the governing body. Give them the power, back them, and quit taking them to the dadgum court system every time they make a ruling on something and overruling
Because
on
what is that telling these kids that are, again, they're in a very pivotal point of their lives where influence and their just growth and mental state is
Right.
really able to shift and alternate and all those kind of things. So what is this telling these kids? That you can go and complain about something and you're going to get your way? Same thing with NIL. Oh, it's not enough money for me. I'm just going to go somewhere else and they'll pay me more or whatever. I mean, it's just not setting a good example. And, you know, that's what Jackie was talking about with Bruce before is that, you know, her dad took these kids under his wing and developed them as young men. And now when you only have someone for 1 year, it's really hard to grow that relationship and, you know, teach somebody all that in 1 year.
The lack of regulation. I was thinking about how to say this part, what I'm about to say. The lack of regulation of NIL is what's ruined college athletics. NIL didn't ruin college athletics. NIL was a monumental thing for athletes to go out and make money in addition to what they're doing with their scholarship, which I think they absolutely deserve to be able to do that. The fact that you were saying, oh, if you are playing on a team in college, you can't go get a job or you can't go get
Right.
alternate income. If not, you're going to be ruled ineligible. That was on the other extreme of stupidity. Now we're on the other side of stupidity where we just go, oh, it's name, image, and likeness. No, it's not. It's pay for play. It's being abused. It never has been in the sense of the ruling done correctly. And so it's not NIL that ruined. Everybody throws the portal and the NIL have ruined college athletics. They didn't ruin anything. It's how they've been governed. It's what's ruined it. And it's not money. Like everybody goes, it's money's ruined society. Money didn't ruin society. The love of money, the obsession with money is what ruins society. It's how humans take it and they govern it and manage it. That's what ruins it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So again, I think we all get caught up saying we don't like NIL, we don't like the portal. If it were governed right, it would be fine. But the problem is it's not. So that's why we have to deal with it. All right, we are up against a break. We are live on location at Russell Medical Center. Glad to have Jackie Pearl join Faith in the previous segment. She was great. Talked about a lot of great things. So it was good having her on the program today. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Auburn Blitz right after this. Mr. Albee said you were smiling pretty big on the wine comment, thinking about that wine.
Obviously.
I don't know, why wouldn't you be? Ed said, Brett, you say SP is going to have to talk some of the better players into coming to Auburn and taking less money. Why did Golish not talk Byron Brown into coming to Auburn for a lot less? I'm not saying – I don't remember saying that, Ed. What I'm saying is that Stephen's going – first of all, how much money is Auburn going to give to this program, and how much are you going to be able to go out and contribute to getting other players to come in comparison to some of the other top programs? I mean, you can go in there and try to do whatever you want to talk guys into coming for less, but I think we just kind of went through all of this, that everything's transactional now, and it's not just, hey, $5 million for this guy or $3 million for this guy. If there's a player commanding that kind of money, then there's probably multiple schools trying to give them that kind of money. So now what's going to cause you to win out and get that player to come to your school over somebody else if all is equal? So there's a lot of elements that go into it. Do they want to come to that school? They want to play for that coach? What wins out in the end outside of just the dollar amount?
Yeah. I don't know. My question still remains of what is the retention of this roster look like? Because again, you look down here and you've got a lot of underclassmen.
Right.
And young guys
All right, so from a contributing standpoint, how many underclassmen are contributing to this roster right now?
1, 2, 3.
Are contributing to this team, not the roster. But,
What? 3, 4
so
out of 6?
out of the 6 that are playing right
Yeah.
now,
The only older ones, Keyshawn Murphy and Keyshawn Hall.
2 of the biggest names you brought
And
in the
okay,
portal.
and Kevin Overton. So, but he's a
All right, so
junior.
the question is, does Tahad Pettiford come back next year? If you had to bet if Tahad Pettiford came back next year, what would you say? I don't think he's ready to go to the NBA again. He needs another year in college. But the question is
he gonna?
he going to spend that next year in college at Auburn? What's y'all's thoughts out there? What do you think?
Stephen talked about his relationship with Tahad last night and how, he just expects a lot from him.
Right.
And,
And you should, as one of the guys that you look
Yeah,
at as your team
absolutely.
leader. And Tahad's a quiet guy. He's not talk. He doesn't talk a lot. So, do I think recruiting will pick up in hoops? I don't. Not in this class. Obviously, you got Caleb Williams, one signee. I think everything's going to be dependent on the portal, Mr. Albee. I really do. I think it's going to be another portal-heavy class. I don't think anybody should be shocked by that. But depending on how many people stay on this roster, like Faith was talking about, will be the determining factor on how many you have to go out and get. I mean, you had to go get 10 guys last year. I mean, and what is the NCAA going to do now that all this junk's going on with Bediako? Are they going to come in and say no Euros? Does that mean
because then that means Filip Jovic is
out?
I mean, he's classified as a freshman right now.
So how are you going to walk all that back now that you're letting guys that have been playing from Europe for a while? What are you going to do? Go in there and tell them they can't play anymore? Yeah, I'm saying the exact same thing you're saying, Mr. Albee. I 100% agree. He has to stay in college. My point is he going to stay at Auburn or is he going to go hit the portal and go somewhere else? I don't know. I'm asking y'all that. You already done it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to leave. I'm just – it would be great if he could stay one more year for sure. So, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Couple segments left on the show today. As you can see right behind us, we are at Russell Medical Center in Alexander City, Alabama. It is really a phenomenal facility here. As Jackie Pearl just said and talked to you, they've got their own cancer center here for a technically rural hospital. They have almost everything that you would need. And if they can't get it for you here, guess who they're partnered with? They're partnered with UAB Health in Birmingham. It's the #1 medical network in the world, in my opinion. And I think by a lot of rankings they are. So you got everything you need. So you and I talk about the stress of fighting traffic in big cities and in and out. You don't have to do that here in Alex City.
No, you don't have to at all. And again, instead of, if you're in that East Alabama area of having to drive all the way to Atlanta, just come right over here, take 280 and come to Russell Medical Center in Alexander City. It only took me about 30 minutes to get here. And so, they've got their healthy heart month.
Naturally, Heart Month would be February with Valentine's Day.
Duh.
Come on.
But yeah, I talked about it with Jackie and how important it is. And so, could not have had a better experience.
Right. Ed said, I'm not sure that Keyshawn is not the problem. He was fussing with Tahad and Overton the whole night. There's been some jawing in some other games between particularly Keyshawn and Tahad.
Yeah.
Again, in the locker room, the things that we've seen when they're off the floor seems to be fine. I mean, we really haven't seen any kind of animosity between. Now, I know in the heat of the moment, guys, look, when you're competing and maybe somebody's not doing exactly what you feel like they need to be doing or putting forth effort, you get a little bit testy, or maybe you're challenging them. Maybe it didn't come off the right way. I don't think there's a disconnect there. I don't. I think there's just some frustration right now. I think Jackie told you about that a little bit with the way the game was being refereed last night. And, it gets in some guys' head and they can't get through it. They can't battle through it.
Yeah, that's the mental part of it definitely is what affects some of these guys, because I mean, if some things aren't, going your way, then you kind of just put too much pressure on yourself, all those things. But yeah, being on the court, you can kind of hear some of the conversations that are happening between some of the guys.
Yep.
And to me, it just looks like ball distribution problems.
It looks like stagnant offense, a lot of isolation stuff, a lot of standing around.
Yeah. And, maybe some people think that they know better of what can throw off the defense or all those things. So it's difficult to really know what the big issue of it all is, because again, we don't get to hear or see the entire thing, but definitely I don't think it looks good on the court sometimes.
It doesn't. You don't want to portray that you're at each other's throat and there's no, there's some kind of discontent going on in the team. But like with certain players, some are more emotional than others. And like let's take Keyshawn Hall, for example. He's a downhill drive to the basket guy that relies on getting to the free throw line a lot. And if you have officiating crew on a particular night that is allowing more contact and not calling fouls, and he's getting hit and he's missing shots, and then he becomes frustrated, and then things kind of spill over, and maybe you get a technical foul because you're mad that, hey, you're getting fouled, and you normally get those calls, you're not getting them tonight.
Right.
That carries over, and then maybe sometimes you go, man, I just can't keep doing this, and takes you completely out of your game.
Yeah, and I think too, when you're not getting those calls and your teammates are seeing that you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and clearly you're not going to get the calls at this point, so stop putting the ball in jeopardy of turning the ball over.
Right.
And that's where I saw the most frustration.
It's a good point. If you're always if you're one-on-one ISO with a guy and you're trying to draw contact, and you are drawing contact, but after the third or fourth time the referee hasn't called it and you keep doing it, then the frustration builds, like you said, with the other teammates. Like, okay, we got to do something different. You can't keep doing that because you're going in and you're basically turning the ball over.
Yeah, and then there was just, off ball being open and not looking for them because you were expecting the call. There was just, I think, a lot in that sense.
And still defensive breakdowns. I don't really know what else to say about that. So, all right, we are up against our final break here on the TV side of things. We are live on location at Russell Medical Center in Alexander City, Alabama. It is Heart Health Month, and we're glad to be here and promoting that for all of you out there. So we'll take our final break. Stay tuned. One final segment coming up here on the Auburn Blitz right after this. And it's neck health care month, and you pop your neck.
Yeah.
So
the photos will be posted after this when I go back.
Yep.
I was a little tired last night. But from the games, normally I post them on either Instagram and then they automatically go to Facebook.
Facebook, right.
So
yep. A lot of photos that Faith takes on the sideline, the
baseline, sideline,
I
whatever.
keep wanting to call it floater, but it's not floater. It's roamer.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
All right. Do I think it's good to have two ball dominant players on the same team, Hall and Todd? I mean,
sometimes
you got to have scores, and you just got to figure out a way to. What if you'd have kept Chad Baker Mazzara? What would have happened there? I think a lot of people would have taken Chad Baker on this team, especially the kind of season he's having. But
I think it's different to have two like ball dominant players on the same team versus on the court at the same time.
True.
And
But
having
now they're having to play together because there's no depth.
yes, that's my point. So I find that to probably be the biggest problem because you definitely want more than.
But they do play two separate positions. So, I mean, you got to figure out a way to get along and play together. I mean, if you're two of the better players on the team, then you got to be on the floor at the same time. And you got to figure out.
How can you complement each other?
Yeah. I mean, how can you make each other better? I just think there was somebody that made a comment last night that said, hey, I see a bunch of stagnant standing around, not moving on offense and waiting for somebody to do. There's not a lot of continuity on the offensive side right now for whatever reason. And I think from a standpoint of how you evaluate defensive effort and offensive effort, they both complement each other. Great defense creates great offense and vice versa. If you're lazy on defense and teams are getting out on fast breaks or you're leaving guys wide open behind the 3-point line, and Auburn is one of the worst teams in the country at 3-point defense. And again, last night, Vanderbilt ended up, I think they made, what did they make? 8 out of 23? Something like that. I'll pull it up and just make sure. But most every team Auburn's been playing here recently, they've been shooting over their season average behind the arc.
Yeah, like 39%.
Yeah, they made 8 and they shot 35%. So, and again, it's the same song, different verse. Auburn did shoot 41%. They shot 17 threes, made 7. But the points in the paint are where Auburn got beat.
And that's where Stephen wanted to focus on last night, big time.
At one point in time, I tweeted out, I think Auburn was down 30-15 with points in the paint. Auburn out-rebounded Vanderbilt 36-27. So it wasn't about rebounds. It was about being efficient and effective when you got inside the paint. They were able to score, and Auburn wasn't. We still had Trey Donaldson. I mean, if you had Trey Donaldson and CBM and those guys to go along with what you have, man, you're talking about a whole different ball game now.
Yeah. Elijah looks like he's starting to get more confidence and play more aggressively.
But Hogbone, the first play of the game was a wide open 3, and this happened 2 out of the last 3 games. And that's kind of what Stephen Pearl started with this press conference. So I hear what you're saying, and I agree, 35 minutes. But welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment here on the show. We are live on location at Russell Medical Center, and we appreciate them so very much. Thanks to Jackie Pearl for stopping by and joining Faith a couple of segments ago to talk about Outlive and her role with the foundation here at Russell Medical Center and all the great things they have going on here and what a wonderful staff they have here. And we want to thank the Public Relations and Communications Department, Morgan and Mabry, and everybody that's involved here that set us up perfectly here with a beautiful view of the front of the hospital right here behind us. So can't thank them enough. Glad to be here. Won't be our last time coming back. We are glad to be partnered with Russell Medical. Hey, we're glad to be partnered with Glenda Mitchell Law Firm. And again, when you're looking for an attorney to go fight for you, Glenda Mitchell will do that, especially if you're hurt in a car accident or somebody in your family is injured in a car accident. You need to go see Glenda Mitchell. Every client gets her personal cell number, and they come to you. They will come to you. So she is a fighter for you. Hope none of you ever have to be involved in a car accident. But if you are, or somebody in your family, Glenda Mitchell's who you need to call.
That's who I'm calling. I can tell you that
There's no
now
question.
because she is going to be – she's going to make sure that
You don't
you
mess
get
with her.
treated right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Don't mess with her. And like she says, you deserve experienced and dedicated support on your side, and we will help you pursue the financial relief you need for your recovery. So glad to be involved with the Glenda Mitchell Law Firm. Okay, going back to your point, Hogbone, over here on the comment, we've been saying this for about 2 weeks. When you're only playing 6-7 guys and they're racking up that kind of minutes, your defense is not going to be as good toward the end of the game, a la Alabama. It's going to affect your shots because your legs are going to be tired. on the offensive side. So that's what they're having to deal with. But when I say lazy defense, I'm talking in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game and giving teams wide open shots. You look up and you're down 11-2.
Yeah, and it's only on the perimeter where you see that. And honestly, it's because they knew that they were going to be running from one side to the other, trying to tire people out and putting those mismatches on to where it's going to work in their favor. And you know, I don't know. We talked about it yesterday that once you see that it didn't work in earlier games, wouldn't you want to find a way to fix it? Because if you're just going to go and talk about it at this point in the season, I don't expect some of them to pick it up immediately and be able to kind of get on it. Because again, Murph was down there saying, hey, I need you guys to talk. There needs to be some sort of communication, because they weren't able to understand, okay, are you going to stay on the ball or are you going to switch? Left someone wide open multiple times. And, you know, you had Murph saying, hey, guys, talk, try to get over here. And I don't know. I just think it's really frustrating for some people.
Justin brings up a good point. Freeman needs some major confidence on the offensive side, man. There was one time he had a three. He was second guessing himself. He dribbled a couple times, two really non-essential dribbles, and he found himself in no man's land and put up a terrible 15-foot jump shot. It's just, you can just tell he just constantly second guessing himself, and he could be a major addition on the offensive side if he could get some confidence. But right now, he just doesn't have much at all. So love Elijah. You interviewed him a few weeks ago. It was a great interview. Yeah. He's got a very high ceiling for this team. Athletically, probably NBA talent level, but he's just got to be able to put it all together. So, Luke, do we plan on bringing Jason on? Yes, absolutely. Jason is the baseball guru, and I was actually going to talk about baseball here in the last couple of minutes, just to kind of remind everybody, and we'll talk more throughout the rest of the week, that Auburn opens up Friday at 5:30 against Youngstown State for their 3-game set this weekend. Then they have 2 scheduled on Saturday, 6 p.m., the final game on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So 3-game set. All 3 games will be streamed on the SEC Network Plus app if you have that, so you can watch them there. But don't do that. Just go to Plainsman Park and watch them in person.
Oh my gosh, I can just tell you right now about how beautiful Plainsman Park is. I was just over there last week, and the additions that they've made already to the beautiful ballpark that, you know, had so much reconstruction and fully transformed last year. Well, they even did some more, and
just keep adding.
I was so in shock. It's so beautiful.
It is. So here in the final minute for our TV side, we do want to say again, hey, softball got off to a 4-2 start. We got some big news coming up on Monday. So we always have big news on Auburn Blitz.
Always.
But we want to thank Russell Medical Center once again for allowing us to be here to do the show today. Great partners of ours. We couldn't do the show without our great partners. And so everybody here has just been so gracious and hospitable to us. And we already look forward to being back again.
Yeah, I'm
soon.
excited.
So thanks to J. Smith Construction and Excavation and
Sense Green for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sense Green.
Absolutely. And Glenda Mitchell, her law firm, for being our umbrella partner of everything Auburn Blitz. So again, all right, we're going to sign off for TV. Again, we appreciate all of you that join us each and every day here for the Auburn Blitz. For Faith Richardson, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we enjoyed it. We hope you did. See you next time. All right, guys. We are headed to Omaha this year. I hope so. We definitely would. I wouldn't mind going to Omaha and covering the College World Series. That would be a bucket list thing for sure.
Anything to go out there and do.
No, really. That's truly all there is. That and watch for storms and tornado shelters and stuff. So does Stephen think the 7-man rotation is hurting them? No one is asking that. Well, I think it definitely is, Bama Willie. I mean, you can't have a team that only goes 2 deep on the bench and really only getting 10, 11 minutes out of those guys and expect to do anything. I mean, really what you're getting out of the 5 or 6 that you have that play more consistently, it's really a miracle in this league, is from an endurance standpoint. So, yeah, we will get Jason on. Probably would be a Monday deal if we have him on. So I'll check with Jason. Normally he's on with us when he's on Mondays, so we'll check on that. All right, Faith, you got anything else? We again appreciate Russell Medical Center.
Yes, so excited to get my results back. Just give me some ease.
Now I've got to go do it. Now I've got to go do the test. So, but you know, other things were calling this morning. I got called away to do. Imagine that. So, but yeah, I am going to get the heart screening here. Faith's already done that. I'm going to get a whole medical checkup because it's just that time. I mean, you need to have everything checked. And again, it's better to know before. And
so that there's something you can do about it.
Yeah. Make sure to be proactive. So, all right, Faith, I will let you send us out here.
Hope everyone has the best day ever.
Absolutely. Again, as we always say, be a light to somebody out there. Do something nice. Do something good. You never know when somebody needs to hear that from you. And okay, all right, we will be back with you tomorrow for more of the Auburn Blitz. All of you have a great rest of the day.